Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Saggies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for Sagittarius here in late September? Energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see who might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in late September. What are the energies here? What can we have a little look at? My guides for my fellow fire sign Saggies. What's happening here? Okay, that is being pretty specific for you this week. There we go. Thank you. All right, so this could, and don't be alarmed by this. That's one thing I'll say, because I know you see the big bad wolf behind Red Riding Hood, and of course, this could represent eyes on something, but I read this a little bit differently. To me, it is a big card of focus, what you might be focused on. Either that or someone focused on you. But before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So yeah, you see this image here. We have Little Red Riding Hood on the path with that big old wolf right behind her, kind of staring her down. So I know some people get a little freaked out when they see this card because like, oh, okay, whoa, danger, danger. And of course, it could be interpreted like that. But mainly to me, this is kind of about like what you're focused on. So often this card shows up when there might be a situation that has the vast majority of your focus. And you know, certain times in life, stuff like that happens. You might be going through certain situations and something is just taking so much of your focus right now. There might be something you need to keep a very close eye on as well when this is here. So just know there might be certain things that you're dealing with. Maybe you need to take a closer look at it. You might be under someone's microscope. Of course, that could be a message here. So just know maybe there's someone watching your moves. Maybe you've got someone under your microscope. All of these things play. But again, I feel like if there isn't something that you are paying a lot of attention to, there could be something that needs your eyes on it, that needs your attention a little more. So we're just going to leave that there for now. We'll see if these themes show up within the tarot spread. And yeah, we'll just leave the wolf over there. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. And yeah, I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get it going here. Let's shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Saggies. Please, what is happening? And yeah, while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Pretty nice energy I saw for you last week. The reading was titled An Unexpected Win. So I hope you had one. I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's monetary, you name it. Sometimes some wins are big, some are small. So the energy could be around you for a couple weeks. It could definitely bleed over. So keep your eyes open. But let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards here. Late September for my Saggies, please. What's going on? What is happening? Thank you. 2 of Pentacles. All right. Either things are totally cool or you got your hands in a lot of jars, or you're wearing a lot of hats when this 2 of Pentacles leads off. I mean, to me, like it's either all serene or all hectic. So we're going to have to look at that further. Let's get a couple more. What do we have here for Saggy? Okay. Could be good energy coming your way with the 9 of Pentacles here right next to it. So there is a lot of earth, and you are sharing that with the Leos. I remember their top row had a ton of earth energy in it. Okay, all earth. Okay, and that is another theme that I've seen through all the fire signs, is the main part of their spreads is all one element. So yeah, we're going to have to talk about this with the devil on the back end, and I feel like that ties in with what I was saying with the Oracle card, that there might either be a situation or something that needs your attention a little more in this time. But let's go through. I'll give you the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. At first glance, I know I was giving a little commentary as the cards were popping up, but you know the first thing I always look at is the elements and how they play. All earth here. So that could mean a couple of different things. Maybe you're more focused right now on career, work, monetary things, the home, the family. All this earth energy represents the material world. Okay, so Whether you want to or whether you don't want to, it's like material situations could be very important for good, bad, or indifferent. But I also mention this as a fire sign myself. I know that we like to do things, we like to get results, we like action. And with all this earthy energy, that could be a little frustrating sometimes for a fire sign. So there could be certain situations that aren't moving to your speed, or some situation where it's like, oh, I feel stuck. Like, when is this going to break through? So let's go through piece by piece and really build it out, because there are very positive cards here as well. These first two are extremely positive. This one, not so much, depending, right? So let's go. Position number one, we have the Two of Pentacles. Now you see this individual, they're juggling those two pentacles with that infinity symbol right there. So to me, I always say this could be extremely harmonious type of energy, something that's coming into a state of balance. So for a portion of you, if you've been dealing with certain situations or things in this time, could start quieting down. This could be really good. Now, things could get quiet to the point where you're feeling a little stuck when all this earth energy is in the mix. But again, like I mentioned when it first came out, this card in its challenging aspect represents juggling. So whether it's like a lot of things on your plate, a lot of things affecting your energy, it just feels intense. It feels like a lot. But I'm going to lean with the positive message until we see the clarifier. That's for sure. All twos can represent choices, being at a crossroads, decisions, even partnerships. And generally, I see this card. I also think of karmic energy as well. So we'll see. I mean, it could be a little bit of both for all of you. It really depends. Moving to the center, we have the Nine of Pentacles. We see that beautiful lady surrounded by all those pentacles. She's got that bird. And I always say that this is an extremely grounded type of energy, extremely abundant. Like the abundance is overflowing, but she's not really moving. That's the catch. That's the rub with this type of card, where it's like, okay, yeah, things are awesome, but there's not a lot of movement or progress when this card shows up. The Nine of Pentacles could also represent an energy of independence, whether that's something you're craving or whether that's something you're dealing with. This is a solitary lone wolf type of energy. Okay, so just something to think about. In its positive sense, like I said, this could represent blessings, wins, victories, you name it. But in its rough sense, it could represent a sense of stagnancy. Okay, so that's what I always say with this card, something you just need to be mindful of. And again, certain situations you might be dealing with might take a little while to fully work through, progress. Now, getting to the back end, we have one of the more complex, complicated cards in the whole entire tarot deck. We have the Devil. Now, although this card does look like it's fire and brimstone, which it is, this is earthy energy. It's connected to Capricorn. Now, we're not calling Capricorns devils whatsoever. It's more about the goat symbolism. That's why they get this card. Now, the Devil has a lot of similar iconography to the Lovers and also the Hierophant. Like if you have a tarot deck at home, put your Devil card right next to the Hierophant and take a look. Put your Devil card right next to the Lovers, take a look. They have a lot of similarities. When I see this card, and I don't always go worst case scenario, I'm just going to give you a little list of the challenges that come along with this. This could represent toxicity. It could represent things that are obsessive. There could be people that are jealous when this card shows up. It's a card of addictions. It's a card of things that you might have been working through or dealing with for a very long time. Because like the Hierophant, this card is not really movable. Like, yeah, it's movable. Yeah, you could work through it, but it's not quick, fast, and easy. This card will stick around. So whether it's a situation or problem you've been dealing with for a long time, the Devil can represent it. Whether it's how you view yourself or how you view a situation, it's like the devil on one shoulder, literally. Okay, so it's something we're really going to want to take a look at. Now, when we get to the positive aspect of it, because I always give the positive regardless of what the card is. The Devil could represent, again, like this Nine of Pentacles, a lot of material abundance. A ton of material abundance. So like if that's your focus in this time, if you're like deadlock focused on the pentacles and the money, this could be a really fantastic spread for you, especially for career. But at the same time, whenever the Devil's there, it's like, okay, we got to look at this a little further. So let's do it. I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. Let's see what we got from my beautiful Saggies. Let's see what's happening. Guides and Spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that too. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saggy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Two of Pentacles time. What's happening? What is going on? Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. Now, again, this is contributing again to this extremely grounded type of energy. A portion of you, I will say this, watch out for taking on too many new things in this time. Don't overfill your plate. When I see the nine of Wands, it's the wounded warrior. It's someone that's been through some things and they don't want to go through it again. And it could also represent somebody having their guard up as well. So you might be dealing with an individual where if their energy is retracted and pulled back, their guard is up for one reason or another. But again, I feel like this could be an energy of rejuvenation. So in this time, it would be important not to overload yourself with emotions or overload yourself with responsibilities. There's a time and a season for everything. And when I see the Two of Pentacles and Nine of Wands, it's like, okay, just let it simmer, let it be for now. It's like giving me that type of vibe. Like, all right, well, now's not the time to really push the envelope here. Now's the time to just let things simmer. I don't know why that message is coming through like that. So apply it to whatever situation you might be dealing with. Now, this card can sometimes represent problems. Sometimes it can represent barriers, roadblocks, and especially when we have the devil later on, we're going to have to really discover if that's going to be part of the case. Like there could be, pardon me, a situation that's going to take center stage here. But again, I feel like for a big portion of you, it's like, don't overload your plate. Just let something simmer. Let it be for now. Like, don't aggravate it. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. And we're going to see what that Nine of Pentacles has to say. I feel like I don't have to complicate that too much. So why is the Nine of Pentacles here? What is happening? Thank you. Okay. And another thing, listen, I know Sagittarius is generally an extremely social sign most of the time, right? Like not every Saggie's out there partying and living it up every single day. But I know a lot of Saggies in my personal life. My mom's a Sagittarius, and I know they like to chat, they like to talk, they like to socialize. Be careful about who you tell certain things to in this time. When I see the Three of Pentacles in reverse underneath a card like the Nine of Pentacles, I feel I'm getting the energy of a gossiper, a blabbermouth, like somebody that's like telling other people's business. Okay, like this is pretty much intuitive aside from that Three of Pentacles in reverse. So again, there might be someone you're connected to where they're just out there, they get the information and they blab it. They get the information and they blab it. I think there might be an individual in your circle that you just need to be a little cautious of, okay? Whether it is through work or some sort of group dynamic, to me, it's just somebody that's in everyone's business, if that makes sense. So again, I'm not making any judgments or anything like that. I'm just telling you the energy I'm picking up here. Now again, Three of Pentacles in reverse underneath the Nine of Pentacles, there could be a situation or something where you might be better off going at it with your own efforts. That's another thing we could get up here, like, it could be spirit literally just saying like, listen, Saji, you could do this. You're not going to need help from this person, that person, and the next. Like, you don't need like a whole team to accomplish something. Like, you can accomplish a lot on your own. There's a strong energy of you taking up the mantle of something and you doing the work and effort to make something move through. But again, that intuitive message is like, watch out for the people in your circle or who you really socialize with in this time, specifically any new individuals, because to me it's like somebody they're very charming and they could get a lot of people's business and they're always blabbing. So just know if there's somebody gossiping to you about somebody else, that they will gossip about you to another person. So let's go in on that devil. That was a message, that's for sure. Let's see why the devil's here, and we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the devil in the mix for Saggy? It's like someone wants the details. Okay. So one of your energies is showing up here, Sagittarius, and I always link the Wheel of Fortune to you because this is Jupiter energy, and I know that's your ruling luminary. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse usually is good. Now, for a portion of you, there could be a situation or something that you already have familiarity with, or something that you've already dealt with that's going to like return surprisingly, or just like out of the blue. Like, it is a big return, because to me, the Wheel in reverse is similar to the World in reverse, similar to Judgment in reverse, similar to the Six of Swords in reverse, where it represents having to touch base with something you thought you already handled, or something returning into your life. So just watch out for that. Like for some of you, there might be a certain cycle where it's like, okay, well, why do I keep experiencing this thing? Why does this always continue to come up? The energy is here. Now, I will also say this, the Jupiter energy under the devil is extremely protective. But again, I feel like there are some important warnings in this spread, because we're having a warning here about not overloading your plate. We have a warning here about watching who you're sharing certain pieces of information with. And now we have this energy on the back end of a flare-up of some kind. So there's like multiple little warnings here for you this week. Now, again, are all these like super treacherous and something you need to be like nervous about? I wouldn't say so, but I feel like it's more about how you navigate these things. That's the most important, especially with the wheel in reverse. And to me, it's like, okay, I got to deal with this again. Like again, it's like giving me that kind of vibe. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, Saggy. And I mean, there's some good energies here. It's not all bad. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but there's some things that you might need to be a little careful the way you navigate it. But position number one, we started off with the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands in the upright. So I did say for most of you, it might not be very beneficial to put too much on your plate, to go into too many new things. Like this is Spirit literally saying like, all right, well, just let something be for now. Like let it chill, let it marinate, let it do what it's going to do. Don't poke it. Don't poke at it. Don't aggravate it. Moving to the center, we have this energy of, and the Nine of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. To me, it did feel like a very gossipy type of individual. So there could be a person in your circle. Just watch what you share with them. Watch what you say, because it's somebody who's in everybody's business. Aside from that, I do feel like there could be a situation or something that you probably don't need a whole ton of help with. Like it's something you could tackle on your own and still get very positive results. You might get better results handling it on your own than you would bringing other people in. On to the back end, we have the Devil with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. One of the cards I link to Sagittarius, and I do feel like there could be a situation or something that makes a big return, and it's like, okay, well, why do I have to deal with this again? Like, what is it that this similar thing keeps happening? It's like giving me that kind of vibe. But I do feel overall with these three warnings, it kind of adds up to some important warnings here. So just keep your head about you, keep your wits about you this upcoming week. There are silver linings here. Because the wheel is always a good luck charm regardless, very protective. But yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows here. So let's get a good shuffle here. What do we have for Saggy, please? Guides and Spirit Team. What is going on? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. Sometimes they're good. So let's get you one here. Yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out for you, my good friends. What do we have? Quick, super quick. Okay, the King of Wands, that's a card that could represent you. Remember, it's not gender specific, and I feel like this ties in with the energy we had in the very beginning about like what it is that you might be focused on. Because the King of Wands is a Sagittarius card, and it's a card of the self, whether it's something about your self-confidence or how you view yourself. Hopefully in recent times you haven't had a low type of vibration in regards to that, but I'm not going to say that's definitely the case, because when I see the King of Wands, if we're not representing another fire sign, it's somebody that controls where they put their efforts. They control where they put their energies. Just like I was saying here in the very beginning, like, are you giving too much of your energy to one thing? Are you not spreading your energy evenly? And then we kind of even had that here in the beginning, like, all right, don't overload your plate. So the King of Wands showing up here, it's like the triple time we've heard a very similar message in this week's reading. So I would take it as very important. Okay, so there's either something that you need to not give as much attention to. There could be something else that needs it much more when the King of Wands is here. So yeah, Saggy, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.